Hello, I'm Bethany from Bethany Wellness. Join me today for Flowing into Gratitude. La 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 la. We're in a historical time right now with COVID-19. A lot of us have been out of sorts with our usual routine. Things are switched up. Maybe we're working from home. Maybe our work conditions have changed entirely. Maybe we're in a pretty severe isolated situation, social distancing, and things of that nature. So I thought flowing into gratitude would be a wonderful way to help us refocus, reframe our thinking. I know for me, during some changes where life changes are happening, I get more prone to negative thinking. And when you're in those cycles of negative thinking, you'll notice, I know I've noticed, my thoughts tend to spiral a little bit more into negativity. So this will be very helpful, hopefully, for all of us to reframe our thinking, refocus, and find some gratitude. So some items you may wish to gather for your practice today, these are optional, would be 2 yoga blocks. I have the 2 blocks here. You can use a book, yoga, or books if you'd like. And then I have a yoga blanket. You're welcome to use a towel. These will be optional. You don't have to gather those items. And let's begin. We'll begin in Shavasana today. Settle in to your Shavasana pose by lying on your mat in a way that is comfortable for you. You can have legs stretched out, or you can have knees bent, drawing your feet to the mat. And begin to settle into a nice, full breathing pattern, preferably breathing in and out through your nose. Now, if your nose is stuffy, of course, breathe with your mouth. And let your breath be full. Avoid rushing through your breath. Take your time. And I want you to imagine with each exhale that you're letting go. You're letting go of anything that interferes with you being present here in this moment on your mat. And as you inhale, draw in stillness for your mind, your body, your spirit. And we're here today to practice gratitude. So I want you to first begin with I am enough. So thinking to yourself, I am enough. Sometimes we get stuck in the process of what we are not. So instead, just be here, realizing that you are enough. And that this is a peaceful place. Giving thanks to your body, that your body allows you to practice this yoga practice today. Giving thanks for your thoughts and the awareness of your thoughts. And realizing that we can reframe our thinking if we are stuck in patterns that don't serve us, that don't benefit us. We reframe our thoughts by first being aware, knowing what thoughts do not benefit us, and letting them go. Next, reach your arms overhead. Take a nice stretch. You can point your toes if you like a little extra stretch as you straighten your legs if you had your knees bent. And exhale, hug knees in, wrapping your arms around your shins, behind your legs. You can even shimmy a little bit from side to side. Sometimes it just feels nice to bring a little movement here, massaging your back. And just be grateful for this time that you have here. We're together for a short time, but it's a gift. It's a gift to give yourself to be able to do this flowing practice today. And I thank you for the gift of joining me. This is equally as beneficial for me today. Wake up your feet and your toes, give them a little shake or a little wiggle, and give those ankles a little circular motion. Good, and leave the right leg hugged in. Stretch the left leg down onto the ground. If that's uncomfortable, feel free to bring your foot to the mat with that left knee bent. And draw the right knee down a little bit towards the right side. So just opening that right hip, opening the right inner thigh. Noticing any sensations in your body as you try each pose. Inhale, come back to center. Keep that right leg hugged in. Rest your right arm down on the ground. Then gently twist, bringing that right leg over towards the left side. You can stop wherever that's comfortable. Sometimes it's nice to stop about halfway, or sometimes it's nice to draw the twist a little deeper. Just honor where you are at, honor your body. Good, then inhale back to center, draw both knees in, hugging both knees in. Release the right leg down, stretching that right leg, or you can bring the right foot to the mat for support. Keep that left leg hugged in a little here. Finding your breath. I notice sometimes my breath will be shallow with transitions in between the poses, so just find that breathing pattern that is slow and calm and steady. And draw the left knee down towards the ground, towards the left side, opening the left hip, the left inner thigh. One more breath. Draw the leg back to center. And then bring the left arm down to the ground, supporting yourself first. Exhale, take a gentle twist, drawing the left leg over towards the right side. Stopping where it's comfortable. Bringing openness into that spine. Waking up areas in your back. Finding your breath. As we're flowing today, I want you to be in your breath. Making sure your breath is similar to a pattern of an ocean wave. And if at any time you feel you lose your breath, just reconnect. And inhale back to center, hug both knees in. And slowly roll to one side, helping yourself rise up to a seated pose, cross-legged pose. This is where I like to use a blanket or a towel. I roll it up a little bit here, and I just sit on it, but sit forward on your blanket. So you'll notice here, if I sit towards the middle or back of my blanket, my spine rounds a little bit. So you want to sit forward on the blanket so that the spine lengthens up. Let your shoulders release away from your ears. Just connect here. If cross-legged doesn't feel comfortable to you, find a different pose. Maybe butterfly pose with the soles of your feet in front of you, or you can just kind of have your legs maybe stretched out a little bit. So just find what works for your body. Settling into breath here, gazing down or closing your eyes. Let your belly rise. So as you inhale, let the breath begin in your belly, traveling up to the middle of your chest and all the way up to the collarbones. Pause for a moment at the top of your inhale, and then exhale, letting your breath leave from the collarbones back down to your belly. Let's take a few more of these 3-part inhales, filling up all 3 parts as you inhale, pausing for a moment at the top of your inhale before you exhale. Drawing in gratitude with each inhale, with each exhale, letting go of any barriers. Inhale, rise the arms up as you gaze up. Connecting hands at heart center, gaze down. Inhale, rise arms up. Exhale, release arms by your sides. Okay, let's do that again. Inhale, rise arms up, gaze up. Connecting palms at heart center, gaze down. Inhale, rise both arms high. Side bend to the right, release the right arm down, gently stretch your side torso, gazing towards the inner arm or towards the ceiling. Inhale, both arms high. Exhale, side bend to the left. Make sure your left shoulder is soft here, it's not up towards the ear. Good. And inhale, both arms high, forward fold, release your palms down, folding from the hips. So we're keeping a nice straight spine for now. Gaze down. Couple breaths. Then exhale, soften down. Let your spine round a little bit, tucking chin towards chest perhaps.
letting your head and neck be relaxed. And here I want you to think about who you are grateful for in your life. So we start by giving thanks for who we are, and now I want you to give thanks or gratitude for people in your life. It can be one person, it can be a couple different people. Just think about them. Think about the things that you're grateful for about that person or those people. One more breath. Inhale, slowly rise back up. Good. Then switch to crossing of your legs. Other leg comes in front this time. This always feels a little funny at first, right? That leg doesn't want to be there. It's not used to that. Take a few breaths here, settling in, finding that length through your spine. Shoulders are soft. A couple more breaths. This time, as you're gazing down or closing your eyes, let's connect to Ujjayi breath. So this is a breathing pattern where your mouth remains closed. Inhale through your nose, pause for a moment, then exhale through your nose, but constrict the back of your throat. So it's the same type of feeling that you would use when you're fogging up a mirror. The back of your throat is constricted as you exhale. It makes an audible sound. You'll hear it as you exhale, similar to the sound of an ocean wave. So a few more of those breathing techniques. Ujjayi breath. And one more. And inhale, gaze up as you rise your arms up. Connect hands at heart center, giving thanks to those people in your life. Gaze down. Inhale, rise arms up. Release the arms by your sides. Again, inhale, rise arms up, gaze up. Connect hands at heart center, gaze down. And I want you to think about, have you told this person or these people that you're grateful for them? Inhale, rise arms up, side bend to the right. Release the right hand down, gently stretch your torso. And if it's been a while since you've given thanks to these people, consider doing that today or this week. Inhale, both arms high. Exhale, side bend to the left. You can let people know you're thankful for them in a text or in an email or in a phone call, or my favorite, a handwritten letter. Because how special is that to forward fold as you exhale? How special is that to receive a handwritten note in the mail? We get too much other things in the mail, right? Things that aren't always something that we look forward to, whether it's bills or other things, but a handwritten letter just brings a smile to a person's face. Soften down into your fold, relax your head and neck. And slowly rise back up, coming into your seat. And then let's come into tabletop. You can remove that blanket. Now, if you have tender knees, feel free to place that blanket underneath your knees here for your tabletop. Wrists are under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, release the belly down, nicely release it as you gaze up for cow pose. Exhale as you tuck and round into cat. Tucking chin towards chest, gaze back. Inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. Flow with your breath. Go at your own pace now. Noticing your breath. Your breath guides you through this motion. It should feel very fluid, linking your breath with your movement. Then exhale, child's pose. Sink hips to heels, knees together or drawn wide. Bring your forehead to rest on the mat, arms stretched overhead. Notice your breath in this pose. The breath changes in each pose, so just notice, connect here to your breath. And in this place, I want you to give thanks for a lesson you've had in your life. A lesson or a challenge, or perhaps some might even give thanks for a hardship. Maybe you went through something really difficult. Have you given thanks to it? I know that sounds strange to give thanks to something that was so hard in your life, or give thanks for something that might feel negative. But if you think about it, anything that we're approached with can help us to grow and can help us be who we are. So give thanks for a lesson, a challenge, or a hardship. And if you give thanks to it, it doesn't mean that you're making or giving permission for something that was hard or surrendering to it. You can still be strong and vulnerable as you give thanks. Inhale, rise up, tabletop. Curl your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips high. Create an inverted V. Let your heels melt towards the mat. Give your head a little nod. You can even pedal this out. Sometimes it's nice to bring a little movement, especially in that first downward facing dog. And take slow footsteps up to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Release and soften down here. Feel free to widen your knees. Feel free to bend your knees. Just finding a soft forward fold. If you have any issues with your spine or with brittle bones, I would encourage you to take a halfway lift, which is creating a number 7 with your body and bringing your hands to your shins. Step your left foot back, low lunge. Right foot stays at the top of your mat. Here's where you can use blocks if you would like, or books. Placing a block on each side. So showing here, sometimes it helps you access the pose a little bit more comfortably or a little deeper. So just decide here if blocks feels better to you. Go ahead and take that variation. Always taking what works in your body. Slowly release your back knee. Inhale, rise arms up, low crescent lunge. Exhale, open arm twist, right arm behind you, left arm in front. Inhale back to center, low crescent lunge. Release your hands down to the mat, low lunge, back knee lifts up. Step your right foot back, high plank. Holding here in high plank with wrists under shoulders. Press through palms, nice flat back. Couple more breaths, feeling the strength as you engage your core. Exhale, downward facing dog. Release your knees, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose, sink hips to heels. And this time, in your child's pose, give thanks to the things in your life. Sometimes we're focused on the things we do not have. Give thanks for the things you do have. Whether it's your apartment or your house or the clothing to cover you or food in your fridge. Give thanks from the littlest of things to the largest of things. Feeling that in this thankfulness, you have enough. So not only are you enough as a person, but you have enough. Inhale, rise up, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift hips high. Widen your fingers a little bit here in your down dog just to help support the wrist. Take footsteps to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. This time try your forward fold perhaps with your legs just a little more straight, just to see if you can find some openness in the hamstrings. Give your head a little nod, yes and no. Make sure you're not holding any tension in that head or neck. Exhale, right foot back, low lunge. Hamstring the left foot, left knee over left ankle. Steady breath. Release the back knee, inhale, low crescent lunge, rise arms up. Exhale, open arm twist. Left arm behind you. Take your gaze towards that back hand. Inhale back to center, both arms high. Release hands down, low lunge. Exhale, high plank. Left foot steps back. Holding here in your high plank. One more breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts high, 3-limb dog. Exhale, low lunge. Pull right foot through to the top of your mat. Inhale as you rise to warrior one. So plant the back foot down first. Rise up and draw hands to hips. Your right knee is bent. The back foot is not 90 degrees like the warrior two. It's a little bit more about a 45-degree angle. Make sure your hips are forward here. So if you have one hip that goes to the side, draw that hip forward or widen your stance of your feet. Warrior one, both arms high. Plunging into that right leg, steady breath. Finding a breathing pattern that is slow and calm and steady. Finding your gratitude for being in this moment. One more breath here. Interlace fingers back behind you. Reach the knuckles down, draw shoulder blades together. Exhale, humble warrior. Forward fold inside your right leg. Release the head and neck down as you reach those knuckles high. Sinking down into that right thigh. Humbling yourself as we're finding our gratitude for being humble and thankful for all the many things we have that perhaps we don't even deserve. One more breath. Inhale, slowly rise back up. Warrior one, both arms high. Bring hands to hips, straighten the right leg. Oh, that always feels so nice, doesn't it, after that humble warrior pose? Both hips are still forward, back foot still at 45 degrees. Exhale, pyramid pose. Hinge forward with a flat back, gaze down. Hands can now release at this time, down to that shin if you would like, or you can just leave them still on your hips. Draw the right hip back a little bit. You'll notice it pops forward a little here. Couple more breaths. Meet yourself where you're at. Those hamstrings can be kind of defensive, so if it's too much, walk the hands up a little bit. Maybe come up from the fold a little bit. Slowly bring hands back up to the hips. Bend the right leg, then release down to low lunge. From here, back knee releases, runner's lunge. Bring your hands to the center of the mat, bring the right foot almost off of the mat. You'll even notice here, sometimes it's nice to bring the right foot onto the blade side of the foot, opening the right knee. Opening the right hip and the inner thigh. Good, then come back to center, low lunge. Back knee lifts up. Exhale, high plank, right foot steps back, hold here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts high, three-limb dog. Exhale, low lunge. Left foot pulls through to the top of your mat. If you need a few steps to get your foot there, that's perfectly fine. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Plant your back foot down, bring hands to hips. Make sure hips are forward first. Widen your feet if you need to. Bring both arms high when your hips are forward. Steady breath. Steady gaze, gazing at something with a soft gaze. Being thankful in this moment of challenging your body, finding some strength, that inner warrior. Release the hands back behind you. Interlace fingers, draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, humble warrior, forward fold, inside the left leg. Steady breath. Giving thanks for the many things you have but don't deserve. The many gifts that we receive, big or small. Inhale, rise back up. Both arms overhead. Warrior one. Release hands to hips, straighten the left leg. Oh yes, my favorite part. And then exhale, pyramid pose. Forward fold with a flat back. Connecting to your breath. Be mindful of your neck here, should be fairly neutral. Slowly rise back up, bringing hands to hips. And then slowly release down to low lunge. Back knee rests, runner's lunge. Walk that left foot out a little bit. Hands come to the center of your mat. You're welcome to come to the blade side of your foot if that's comfortable. And your back foot, perhaps you'd like to have the top of it resting down, or you can have your toes curled. Just find your comfortable breathing pattern and your comfortable pose, honoring where your body's at, making any adjustments. How often do we give our body grace? How often are we thankful and meet our body where we're at? More often, sometimes we're trying to make our body do something it doesn't want to do, or we're judging our body, saying, why won't it allow me to do this? So meet yourself where you're at without judgment and with grace. One more breath. Good. Bring that left foot back to center, low lunge, back knee lifts up. Left foot steps back, high plank, hold here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk feet to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Draw hands to your shins, creating a number 7. Bring the shoulder blades together. Gazes down. Bring arms out to T position. Rise up with a flat back. Extended mountain, arms overhead. Exhale, release hands by your sides. Shake it out a little bit. Good, and I'll turn to face you for our next pose, our balancing pose. Bringing your weight into your left foot, shooting star. So we're going to lift the right foot up and bring the left arm high, finding your counterbalance for your shooting star. Steady breath. Keep breathing. I want you to think about here things in nature that you're grateful for. It's so important for us to connect with nature, being outdoors, noticing sounds, noticing animals, noticing the things we see. So just think about things in nature that bring you that peace, things you're grateful for. One more breath. Slowly release. Whew, good job. Shake out those arms and legs. Bear swings, my favorite. My favorite thing to do after a balancing pose. Good. Back to center, other side. This time bringing the weight for your shooting star into the right foot. Lift the left leg out. And flex your toes here on the lifted foot. Anytime you're balancing, just give yourself grace here. Sometimes balancing is a finicky thing. We might have it one day and the next day we might feel like we don't have it. Just know that each time you practice, you are building muscle, nerve, memory, and it will improve your balance. One more breath. Slowly release down. Shake it all out. Bear swings. Lovely. Then go ahead and come to your mat. Lying down. Hugging knees in as you come to lying down. Widen your knees if that feels better. If there's any pinching on the front of your hips, on that hip flexor area, just try widening your knees. Or if your back feels a little uncomfortable, once again, just finding what works for your body. Good. Release the left foot to the mat, figure 4. Right ankle crosses over left thigh. Press your right knee away here just to feel that nice stretch through the right glute or right hip. Or you can thread hands behind left leg, hugging in towards your torso. Giving thanks for your practice today. Thank you that you took the time to be on your mat, to find some stillness, to find some gratitude, to reframe your thinking or to reset your mood. Uncross figure 4, hug both knees in. Release the right foot to the mat, figure 4 with left ankle crossing over right thigh. Choose your variation on this side. both knees in one last time. Good. Release your feet down for spinal twist. Bring hands to T position. Inhale first and let legs fall to the left for your spinal twist. You can choose here if you like a more gentle twist to bring the legs less bent and farther away from your torso. Inhale to center. Exhale, release legs to the right. Spinal twist. You can gaze up or to the left. And then bring your legs back to center. Hug them in one last time. And take an overall stretch. Stretch your legs out. Reach arms overhead. Feeling oh so grateful for this practice, for the things we gave thanks for today. Then release to your final surrender, Shavasana pose. Here's where you may wish to have a blanket or a towel. I like to be a little more warm during my Shavasana pose, so I like to just at least make sure my feet are warm and covered. And just settling in here. Maybe close your eyes. I would encourage you to close your eyes. If legs stretched out is uncomfortable to you, bring your feet to the mat with your knees bent. And settle into your breathing pattern. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Or if you'd rather breathe out your mouth, that's okay too. I will chime a bell when Shavasana time is up. So allow yourself this gift for the next couple minutes to seal in your practice, to seal in the many things that you gave thanks for. In closing here, I'd like you to consider 3 things, the top of your mind, don't overthink it. What 3 things at this very moment are you grateful for? Consider writing them down at the end of your day, each day, for 30 days, and see how you feel. See if you notice a shift in your happiness or a shift in your thinking. As you breathe in, I want you to repeat, I am enough. And I have enough. Let relaxation settle into your mind, your body, your spirit. Let your body sink down into the ground, feeling the support beneath you. Allow all the muscles in your face to relax. Your forehead opens, your eyebrows and your eyelids are soft. Your nostrils release, and your mouth and jaw neutral. Shoulders sink down a little more as both arms are filled with warmth, maybe some tingliness, traveling down to your hands, to the tips of your fingers. Your torso and your hips release down a little more as both legs are filled with relaxation, moving down to your feet, to the tips of your toes. Your mind, your body, your spirit completely relaxed and at peace. Gratitude flowing through you. Final surrender, Shavasana. Take a deep breath in as you bring movement back, bringing your awareness back. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and slowly roll to your right side. Connecting with breath here. Giving thanks for this time you spent to connect to gratitude. And then slowly rise up, coming into a comfortable seated position on your mat. Thank you so much. It was my honor to guide you through your practice today. I'm grateful for you and grateful that you could join me today. We'll end with Namaste. The teacher in me honors the teacher in you. Namaste. Be well.